Is it weird turning up at a hospital with a suitcase?
What we do here is go back.
Good morning guys and happy Sunday. I've had a lovely relaxing morning. Chris is now up and he is upstairs doing busy editing and stuff. Can you believe that we're already at 90 days to go till the due date? Only 90 days to go, which seems amazing. It feels like only yesterday that I was so excited about it being down to 2 figures. And I know we're still on 2 figures, it was only 9 days ago that we got there. But we're now on week 28, that was started yesterday. We're in the 3rd trimester, we're kind of closing on the end stages, and I'm starting to freak out is probably a little bit more, it's a bigger word than I probably need right now, but I'm starting to think, we're not ready. We need to get ready. We need lists, we need stuff, we need bags. Like, I think we seriously need to start considering a hospital bag pretty quickly. It might be this week's job, to be honest. I don't really know, because like, do you start? I know what stuff I need to put in the bag. I don't own most of that stuff, I own some of that stuff. Certainly stuff relating to me, I own most of it. But when do you start putting it into the bag? Like, what sort of bag do you use? Are you allowed to use a suitcase for a hospital bag? Like a little weekend one? Or do you have to have an actual bag? Like, is it weird turning up at a hospital with a suitcase? Seems weird. But I don't really have a bag. Oh, I don't know. Answer down below. Please let me know. What did your hospital bag actually look like? Like, I can now know what to put in it. What did it look like? And, more importantly, when did you start packing it? And should I have already packed it by now? Last year, springtime sometime, council stopped collecting our green waste. So we started composting. And I've been out checking on a couple of bits in the garden this morning. And I thought, I'm gonna check on the compost. Because I haven't seen it in about 4 months while it's been winter. And I'm not quite sure what's been going on. This is bin number 1. I'm trying not to get wet when I lift this off. Ooh. That definitely looks like it needs turning over. But it's broken down an awful lot, which is great. And smells quite sweet. And bin number 2. Looks like that was probably a bit wet in there. Definitely broken down a lot. Looks like there is either bird poo in that bin number 2, which there can't be because there's been a lid on it all winter, or it might be a bit mouldy. So I think next is to turn it over. That's looking really good. Like down here, it's actually starting to look like soil already. Pretty sure when I started these bins, I'd read something like in the region of 6 to 12 months you should get your first batch of soil out of them. Now we don't put an awful lot in because our garden's quite small. So an awful lot of it is just grass cuttings, which means it's kind of out of balance at all times. But at least it's doing something, and we're not at 12 months yet, and we're starting to see progress, which is pretty cool. It definitely does look really wet in there though, so I think I need to make sure we're putting more papers and cardboard and twigs. How cool is this? These little snowdrops are the first sign of life in 2017. The rest of the garden definitely leaves something to be desired at this point, mostly down to this one. This one. Hey? You wrecked our garden, look at the state of your feet. Door closed. And get the heating on because it is cold. This morning I couldn't decide what I wanted to drink and I had a real salty craving. So I started out with a cup of lemon tea, which was tasty, but probably a little bit strong I think. And well, I didn't particularly enjoy it. So I was like, well, what can I have that will kind of quench my salty craving? And I went for this. Now, it's a bit off the wall, you have to forgive me. Also, Chris was still in bed at this point, so he had no comment. Made a Marmite drink. Now, I don't know if any of you have done this before, but my nan always used to do it, my mum does it sometimes, where she just put an OXO cube in a cup of water and basically drink gravy. And we did OXO for quite a while, but there's a lot of salt content in OXO. So my mum and I started to switch to using Marmite instead. Still get that beefy, savoury taste, but you don't get quite as much salt. So I tried that this morning, and I must say I was really disappointed because it didn't taste like it smelled. I needed it to be strong and Marmite-y. And even though I put a full teaspoon of Marmite in only like a regular sized mug, it just wasn't so good. So I'm not gonna try that one again. I was gonna have some green tea, but I don't really want it. I want something more comforting than that. So think I might go for a Horlicks. I also really fancy some chocolate, but all we've got in the house is this 85%. It's a good job it's tasty, even if it isn't exactly what I'm craving. But I think it'll do. Not having the whole bar, don't worry, not eating the whole thing. And I might even see if Chris wants some too.
What's up guys, it's Sunday and this is the first I've spoken to you today. Oh, I don't know where I've been. I don't feel like I've been very productive today. Obviously edited a vlog, but that was about it.
Yay! That's all you needed to do.
I know, but we've done so much talking today. And this weekend, so much talking. I don't think we've talked this much in such a short period of time for a long time.
No.
I think that's why we've not done much vlogging yesterday. We had so much footage. It must have been about 30 minutes worth of footage, but it was like a 5-minute vlog because we didn't actually say anything. We did a lot of stuff in the morning, but saying wise, barely turned the camera on. And then today, I think for the past maybe close to 6 hours, we've just been pretty much talking. In fact, a lot of it was about vlogging, really.
It was today.
It was a lot of vlogging today. We were basically debating the future of the vlogs. Yes. I was watching another YouTuber yesterday, and they were talking about the future of their vlogs, and it got me thinking about the future of ours. And what do? We've got a baby on the way. The idea with vlogging was that we kind of have like a way to document our lives for posterity, so that in the future we've got something to look back on. But kind of with a kid that changes somewhat. I think one problem is we're bringing a third party into the videos that can't give their opinion. So if I don't want to be in a video, I can say. If Jen doesn't want to be in a video, she can say. But a baby and a kid kind of doesn't really have the choice in the matter. We either say for them, or well, that's basically we say for them. That's the only choice.
Decide.
Jen was kind of concerned that in like 10 years time, if we record them, and is there going to be any embarrassing footage on it that the kid might look back on and might get bullied for, or wish that wasn't kind of like recorded or whatever. And it's kind of a bit of a concern, not worryingly like, oh my god, for me it's the end of the world concern, but it's something that you really need to think about. What happens once you press that record button? We're just chatting, kind of like, where do you draw the lines of some things? You know, what's acceptable to acceptable? Because what's acceptable to one person is going to be like not acceptable to someone else or what have you. And what's the reason for continuing to vlog when the baby comes along? And you still got the posterity. We still want to be able to record and look back on us as a family, and our family now extends to a baby, or will do soon.
Yeah, we certainly don't want to stop vlogging and not do any of it. It's just a matter of exactly where the line's drawn. How
the vlogs manifest themselves, what goes in, what doesn't go in. So we have family and friends that will watch this occasionally, and when a baby comes along, chances are they'll probably want to watch it a bit more religiously, especially grandmas, granddads that maybe because they live a bit too far away don't get much of an opportunity to kind of be there as much as they'd like to. They get to still play a daily part in kiddo's life. And it could be nice for a lot of people, and then the added benefit of the community that's starting to build around us, with you guys watching and commenting, chatting, whether it's on YouTube or Twitter or whatever. It's nice, and we want to you're yawning.
Yeah.
Sorry. And it's seeming a bit.
It's late.
It's a bit.
Deb's yawning now too.
We want to keep going, but we just don't know what we should and what we shouldn't record, how we should record it, how we shouldn't record it. And I don't think anything's going to change. Nothing's going to change in a hurry, and it's going to be a learning curve when the baby comes along as to what we feel is appropriate.
Just a case-by-case basis, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just when you introduce a kid, I think Jen hit this on the head earlier. When you introduce a kid into something, everyone has an opinion.
Yeah.
And it changes things, and people are a lot more passionate. So something that you do and it's just me and Jen, you might not agree with, but that's just the way it is. But when there's a kid involved, I'm not suggesting we go parachuting with a toddler or anything. But
we could if we wanted to.
Could.
Maybe.
I don't think we could.
Know.
I don't think we could.
Are you allowed to do that?
You probably couldn't.
Okay. Well, we won't
probably,
then.
No. But if we wanted to do something that, you know, some people don't necessarily agree with, and we don't want to sort of like annoy anybody, whether it's future us who think, why did we do that? Whether it's you guys that watch and think, and that's a stupid thing, or whether it's family members that kind of a bit concerned for our kid because we wouldn't have started feeding the kid at 5 months, we'd have waited till 12 months or something. No, we would have fed the kid earlier. Solids. I'm talking about solids. There's just so many choices, and it's a personal thing. And we're just a lot of talking, making sure that we have an open and honest and frank discussion.
Yeah.
That if we're going to carry on these vlogs when the baby's here, what we think is maybe going to be appropriate.
We kind of haven't done anything productive, so we haven't got anywhere. We've been chatting for a long time.
Today.
Yeah, but we haven't resolved anything. There was nothing to resolve. We're talking options through.
Understanding where Jen's feelings are and the consequences for the vlogs. My feelings, my understanding the consequences for the vlogs. And just understanding that we both have mildly different opinions, and that we don't necessarily know what someone's opinion is until potentially it's too late. So it's just an open and honest relationship, and it just manifested itself that Jen's tired. Stop yawning at our friends!
I'm so sorry. I can't help it.
So...
Sorry.
You're gonna have to go for WLK in a minute.
A really quick one by the looks of it.
I need to take him out. He's just staring at me. He's ready to go out. You molten all over the carpet. There. What the hell's going on, mate? It's not summer. Why did you move your foot as if I touched it? You're a weirdo. I feel like we're going on. That's all I've been doing all day is going on. The same topic, on and on and on. I think we want to stick with daily vlogging. I think that's important.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think that's going to change. I think it's more just a case of like how often we vlog through during the day, whether we keep it to the major things we do during the day rather than picking up the camera left, right and centre and just randomly talking, whether it's more of a show rather than say sort of thing.
But for that we need to do more stuff during the day.
We do need to do a lot more stuff. But with Jen off work, I've already told you this, with Jen off work and me being a lot more flexible than if I was away at work, we can do so many things. And if you have recommendations, you guys had a lot of opinions on whether we should take baby, abroad, and I appreciate that, and they're all noted, but only one or two of you mentioned good places that we could go in the UK. So bear in mind that you think that maybe we shouldn't take him abroad, so like too early anyway. We do need UK alternatives because we do want to get out of the house. We still need to go places. Whether we've got to travel 2 or 3 hours in the car, that's fine. For now, after the first time it may not be fine, but for now it's fine. And ideas are great because we don't know everywhere in the UK. We don't know good places to take a baby in the UK. Obviously the baby's not going to appreciate most of the places, but we will appreciate going those places and taking the opportunity while we have each other's company.
But if those places have like good changing facilities, that would be a bonus.
Yeah, if they're accommodating of kids. Anyway, we've been talking a lot. We should take him out before this one falls asleep. I don't think he's had a nap today. I
haven't. And I went into the garden for like a little while.
You went into the... What's that got to do with that?
I was doing stuff. I was working hard in the garden.
Right, let's go. You going for a walk, Shep? Yes, he's excited. He wants to go.
Come on then.
We need to teach him. We'll tie him to like the pushchair. Teach him to go around the block. They can walk each other, the baby and him. We don't need to go out. That sounds like a bad idea.
Yeah, I don't think that's good.
FYI, we're not going to do that. Guess who just peed on our car? It wasn't me.
Wasn't me. I didn't do it.
Well, it was one of those two. He was walking by and like, psst, on the car. Like, you don't own that car.
He was claiming it.
He was claiming our own car. Stupid dog. All the things you could have peed on, you had to pee on our car. Some of you guys have questioned whether this annoys us. In all honesty, I stopped hearing it. It's incessant, but you just tune it out when you hear it enough. And this one as well. Well, that's even worse.
When we got the comments about the squeaky door, I didn't even know what door they were talking about.
Yeah, we didn't know what door you were talking about first. And then we went, ah, presumably these doors. No, the doors usually spend most of the time open.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's just you live with a squeak, it's just a squeak. It's not like it's... It'd be creepy if suddenly the door started moving in the middle of the night when you're watching TV or something. And it's just like... Does that annoy you? When you hear it on camera, does this annoy you guys? Oh yeah, by the way, we didn't clear out this room. Jen is now hopping across everything. We went to the tip and threw some stuff away, but we need to make space in the shed for that.
I wasn't sure if anybody really cared about my Sherlock updates, even though I've been religiously giving them to you for the last like week and a half. And I am really excited to say that I have now finished season 3 of Sherlock, which means I'm completely up to date off Netflix, and if our Netflix account now deactivates in the next few days, I won't be stuck without being able to see the end of it. I was kind of toying with telling you today. I was going to tell you about it earlier on when I actually finished watching it, and then I completely forgot, and then I thought, well, I bet no one actually cares. But I was just about to come to bed and Chris has come running upstairs to tell me about a message from Adam, who's commented on yesterday's video to ask how far through I've got. So Adam, if you're watching today's video, I have now finished season 3. I've already seen the first episode of season 4, which is what prompted me to go back and watch from the beginning. So I'm now up to season 4, episode 2. Means I only have 2 more episodes, and then I am completely up to date with the entire world. As you can see, I have finally made it to bed. But I've spent like the last hour or so going through the NHS birth plan and coming up with comments or questions or something about every single one of the points. And I kind of feel like I'm there now. I've already done loads of research, so loads of things I just knew off the top of my head, whether it was something I wanted or something I didn't want. And there are a couple of things left I have questions for. Namely, I was quite surprised that cord blood didn't come up in the birth plan at all, and I thought that should be something that was on there. So I've been doing a little bit of research into it. Granted, I haven't finished. I can't find anything bad about it. That's the end of it, I suppose. Everything seems to be pros. The only cons I can find online seem to be related to cost, which then isn't an issue if you're donating it as opposed to keeping it for yourself and paying to bank it privately. So if any of you guys know anything about cord blood, about donating cord blood, and any problems that might occur, things that could be considered cons, please let me know, because at the moment I can't see any reason not to do it. And if there's no reason not to do it, why is it not being done as standard for all NHS patients? And then we'd have a store of cord blood waiting for people that need cord blood. It seems like one of those crazy things that you could save a life so easily if you just bothered to sign the right piece of paper. And we're not all automatically encouraged to do it. It's crazy. On that note, I'm off to bed. Leave me a comment down below if you know about cord blood and particularly the cons about it. I feel like I'm fully educated on the pros, but I really don't get the cons. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. See you tomorrow, guys. Good night.